I'd like to talk with you about conversational hypnosis, a powerful sales tool. If you have not heard of conversational or covert hypnosis, then it is time for you to get in the know. What is conversational/covert hypnosis? Conversational hypnosis is a term used by Ericksonian hypnotherapists to create a trance using embedded words in the verbal text. Some people see this technique as unethical because the client or subject has a right to knowingly participate in the development of the trance. On the contrary, other specialists affirm that conversational hypnosis is a well-tested and effective Ericksonian technique, and definitely not unethical in any way. Conversational hypnosis is one of the most effective and efficient techniques of hypnotherapy in producing quick and permanent results. However, special training and skills are necessary to be able to effectively use this technique. So how can conversational hypnosis relate to your sales job? If you have already gone through the special training to apply conversational hypnosis in your life, just think of the possibilities at your job when you are trying to close a deal with a client, for instance. You are definitely going to experience a higher closing rate compared to those who have never heard conversational hypnosis. Definitely. Every client will have a motive for buying from you. Your product is either something she wants to have, has wished for, or something that can improve her life. And if you are equipped with the skill of conversational hypnosis, you will become a better salesperson because you will be able to convince your client that the product or service you are selling is what he or she wants or something that can help improve her life. And you'll be able to do this effortlessly, casually, naturally, in a friendly way. Do keep in mind, though, that such skill isn't only for selling. It is really a great addition to your life because you will be able to use conversational hypnosis to persuade an individual, a group, or even a large audience to do your bidding. Just imagine how nice it would be to get someone to do something for you, as you pleased. Can conversational hypnosis be used in an unethical way? The answer is, well, yes. Anything of such power and complexity as the human mind can be used unethically. The human mind does behave unethically inside and outside of hypnosis already today. We need the ethical people among us to do some good with conversational hypnosis. Conversational hypnosis occurs within politics and can be used in seduction, both sexual and social seduction. However, the supply of appropriate training is very limited worldwide, which is likely why so few people know about it. Not many people can find the right access to the proper conversational hypnosis training courses, and some of those that do just aren't serious enough and don't stick to it and gain the awesome power of conversational hypnosis. So how would you know if you naturally have the skill of conversational hypnosis? Well, each of us has a group of friends. Regardless of the size of the group, as long as you know you're the leader of the group, you pretty much have the natural gift of conversational hypnosis. That doesn't mean it can't be improved on, though. Many of us, though, aren't born leaders, but leaders can be made. This is where acquiring the knowledge and skills of conversational hypnosis is beneficial. If you are a follower and don't want to be a follower, you can rise by learning conversational hypnosis. It's always better to be the leader in a group of friends or in a relationship because things will go your way, which is obviously favorable to you. And if you make favorable conditions for yourself, those favorable conditions are going to be bestowed on others that are close to you and around you as well. The best part is, your followers or companion are happy to have it your way. Isn't that wonderful? In my experience, hypnosis has taken care of everything I have ever needed taken care of or needed improved upon. And it's because hypnosis is simply a tunnel directly into your subconscious mind, which is far, far, far more powerful than the conscious mind. And when you can get in there, into your subconscious mind, With persistence, you can have anything you want at all. Your life can look however you want it to look. Your life can feel however you want it to feel. You just need that tunnel, that sort of, dare I say it, shortcut into your subconscious mind, which is so far more powerful than your conscious mind. Hypnosis is simply the tool to get there. So if you're serious or think you want to be serious about hypnosis, make sure to check out this site right here. This site is helping thousands of people do incredible things with their lives, whatever they want. That's happening today, right now. And you can check it out instantly by clicking the link in my video description below. Well, I hope you found this video article informational. This is Drew Lumino, and thank you.
Hello and welcome. Thank you for buying this course. My name is George Hutton. I've been in sales for a long time, and I've been studying and using hypnosis for a long time. Now, I know there's tons of stuff out there for selling and helping you sell that can help you make a lot of money. Some of this stuff works very, very well. Some of it doesn't work so well. In this course, we're going to learn some very, very powerful hypnotic language patterns that can help you out in pretty much any situation where you are intending to persuade anybody. Now, the specific language patterns in this particular course were developed and fine-tuned specifically for internet marketers, copywriters, people who are intending to sell by text or writing. Naturally, the more you learn these skills, the more persuasive you will be in every area of your life. So, how is the best way to use this course? First of all, when you're watching these videos, don't worry too much about taking notes or anything. Just kind of get a feel for how these patterns work and, more importantly, why they work. These patterns were first uncovered about 40 years ago, but very few people know about them, and even fewer people know how to use them with any degree of effectiveness. So simply by going through this course, you're going to be miles ahead of your competition. Of course, some of this may be a bit confusing because we are going to be using language to describe language. So if during the course of watching these videos, you have to stop and say, what? Huh? That just means that these patterns are having an effect. There are extensive notes in the attached PDFs so that you can go through them as often as you need to master this material. So what is hypnosis? This is a very, very broad and vague term that means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. It comes in a lot of shapes, sizes, and it actually happens a lot more frequently in daily life than most people realize. But for the purposes of this particular course, we will be focusing on the kind of hypnosis that is used in sales. And that is the kind of hypnosis that makes use of your imagination, of your readers or clients' imagination. Now, your imagination is very, very important, but most salespeople don't acknowledge that, and they kind of ignore this, and that keeps them from making a lot of sales. But when you learn to harness the imagination of your clients, then it will lead them to make a decision, because most of the time, as you will learn later on, almost all of our decisions are led by our imaginations, and in this course you will learn how to do that. Okay, so what is actually in this course? It's going to be broken down into a few basic sections of introductory material before we get into the nitty-gritty of the specific language patterns that you can use on your sales page to make a lot more money. In order to understand how to use those, we'll first start to look at human decision making. We'll find out exactly why people decide what they do. This will naturally give you an incredible insight into what specific steps you can take that will dramatically improve your conversions. Now, when you understand why people make the decisions that they do, why we decide how we decide, there's some good things about that, there's some bad things about that, and there's ways to make lots of money by knowing that. So obviously, we want to maximize the good, minimize the bad, and make as much money as possible. And when you learn why this is and how to do that, you'll see exactly what you need to do to make as much money as possible. Now, first of all, we need to understand why people don't buy, because most sales pages have very, very low conversions, and we can understand what kinds of things are pushing them away, and we'll also find out what kinds of things they're looking for. Now, as a hint, this stuff that is pushing them away and these things that they're looking for, these are not conscious things. These are unconscious feelings that they're looking for. And we will learn exactly what types of things on your sales page will trigger both of those. Obviously, you want to trigger more of those unconscious feelings that make people buy, and you want to avoid as many of those unconscious feelings that push people away. And in order to do that, you need to use these hypnotic language patterns. So first of all, you'll learn the basic overview, how they work, the basic structure of these hypnotic language patterns. And then once you understand that, once you understand how those work, then we will get into the specific money patterns that you can basically just copy straight from this course and paste them straight into your sales page, and with a few tweaks here and there, and put in your own specific product name or whatever benefit you're going after, and notice a dramatic increase in your conversions.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kamana, President and founder of Dynamic Breakthroughs. As a sales and NLP trainer, I'm often asked how to start a conversation about my product or service. Starting a conversation, or leading the conversation specifically, to what you do is definitely an art. Fortunately, the art is very simple to learn. There's a specific technique you can use to lead any conversation back to what you're selling.
First of all, let's discuss what you're going to say when you lead the conversation back to yourself. If you don't already have a unique selling proposition, you really don't have a leg to stand on. I recommend reading Mark Joyner's book, The Irresistible Offer, How to Sell Your Product or Service in 3 Seconds or Less. In short, a unique selling proposition describes what you do in a manner that makes a prospect ask, what is that? Or how do you do that?
For instance, whenever I lead a conversation back to my profession and a prospect asks me what I do, I tell them I'm the architect of human potential. Now, immediately, the prospect either asked, what is that? Or what do you specifically do with the potential? What I do then, I then ask them a series of questions, which allows me to determine if they could benefit from my unique services. You need to have your USP ready to go. Make sure to keep it short and preferably mix words that normally are not used together. So, for another example, instead of an insurance agent, you could say, I'm an asset protection specialist. Get creative. The more interesting and different the title, the easier it is for the prospect to get you asking questions. Now back to how to lead the prospect back to the question of what do you do? So the secret to this is to relate whatever you're talking about back to your unique selling proposition, whatever your conversation is. The actual technique, called lateral chunking, is to look at a higher level of the conversation and then move laterally and then back down to what you do. For instance, you're talking to a potential prospect about the weather. You say to the potential prospect, the weather's great today. The prospect replies, it sure is. Then you say, it's great today, but you should always plan for a rainy day, shouldn't you? Most of the time the weather is harmless, but sometimes a storm can do some major damage. In fact, that's actually what I do. And the potential prospect says, oh, what is it that you do? I'm an asset protection specialist. And the prospect immediately says, "A what?" So what you did here is relate weather to something that you need to protect yourself from. And assets also need to be protected from bad events. There you have a very simplified form of lateral chunking. To learn more about using NLP for amazingly persuasive sales, visit www.nlpsalescourse.com.